What's up, guys? Got another daily recap for you for Sunday, January 19th, 2025. First off, way to go, Washington Commanders. That was crazy. I watched that whole game last night. And off we go to the NFC Championship game. First time since our Super Bowl year of 1991, and kind of just wanted to throw in an interesting story for that. So believe it or not, well, see, I graduated high school in 1991. That June, and basically what I did. And to me anyway, it doesn't sound so crazy anymore. Back then, it seemed kind of stupid. But basically, instead of going to college right away in fall semester 1991, I took the rest of the year off, so to speak. I still worked a part-time job, but from I took the rest of the year off from school so that I could concentrate on being a Redskins fan. Believe it or not, which, like I said, may sound really stupid, but hey, when you consider the fact that, okay, so I did that, I concentrated on being a fan. They only lost two games and won the Super Bowl, and it was one of the most dominant teams in the history of the NFL. And we don't reach the NFC Championship for 30 plus more years after that. Well, looking back on it now, I don't think it was such a bad decision. And then of course, then following that Super Bowl win is when I started college for the first time. But anyway, enough about that. On to today's dash, and as you've seen already in the subject or the title of the video, it was all DoorDash today. I think I just glanced at shipped one time. I never turned on Roadie. I never turned on Uber. At one point I got stopped somewhere and I was about to turn it on, and then a DoorDash offer came through. So I went the whole shift and did not turn on or didn't do anything else except for DoorDash. So that works for me, staying busy with just the one app. So my first order that I took, just to kind of get me out of the apartment here, 625 7 Mile Wendy's. So I like I said, I went ahead and took it, and just to get out and get get the wheels moving. And so that delivered at 7:06. Um, so 20 minutes, and 450 from DoorDash, $1.75 tip. So I'm off and running. Uh, I'm not doing this. This is West Zone delivery, 620, 5 mile sheets, and I'm picking up 11 different things. So that this was a decline. And I took this, even though it's a little bit upside down on miles, but I was probably heading. I don't remember for sure now, but I think I was probably heading to that mire anyway. Um, I do remember now. This actually, it didn't take me long to get to the mire. I actually was approaching the outer belt, and I accepted this offer, and I was able to just jump right on the outer belt. It was all interstate to get to the mire, so I was there in no time. And so you see on this screenshot, I'm closer to the customer. So I had to jump on the interstate. I had to drive south to Meyer, and I was going to have to come back up to where I was at to deliver. It was like I said, it's kind of raunchy, but it was all interstate driving on this order. Um, but I get to Meyer, and I get this add-on for an additional 16.27. It is 19 items, but I went ahead and took it, and it actually ended up there was multiples, which I'll get to here, and it actually ended up being a really easy shop. So now this makes a lot more sense here. So this is now over $27 for 17 miles. So now it's a much better overall offer here. Um, so I get to the store, just, yeah, I must be like pulling into the parking lot basically when I get that second offer. So here's the list. You see just for customer A, a thing of nerds, and then two things from the makeup department and HBC, and then of course customer B, and I'll show a couple of the multiples here. So I pick out my very first item, which I think was um, the frozen mixed berries. You can kind of barely see it in that screenshot on the bottom left. So I go to scan that, and this is the first time I seen this particular screen right here. You already get a message saying that you need to separate the orders, and I guess this is like another reminder. So I didn't at first I didn't really see the point of this particular screen, but once we get a couple more screenshots in, I actually like this new thing that they've implemented, and we'll get to that. But here for the second customer, here's one of the multiples: 4 bags of these if I can say it, teriyaki flavored seaweed snacks from like the Asian aisle. I wonder what these would taste like. This sounds, I don't know. They're like really super light bags. Um, yeah, I don't know. I might have to be brave and just try that sometime just to try it. I'll try just about anything. So you had 4 of those, and you had 7 of these protein drinks. So there's 11 of your 19 items, just those two things. Then there was also some milk, and then I think and all in that oatmeal, that protein oatmeal. There was like 4 boxes of that. So there wasn't many different items to shop for. Okay, and so this is the screen that I liked. So when each time that I scanned an item, it said, okay, that's customer A, and make sure it goes with these 3 items. And you see here, these items go together or in your cart, and I actually like this. It doesn't happen to me very often, but like it has happened a couple times before where I have my basket separated, and I go to scan an item, and like I second guess myself. I'm like, oh, was this? Wait a minute, which items here was B and which ones was A? And I like, you know, draw a blank, and it happens. So I have to like click on my, like in your shopping list, there's like the 2 tabs: still to shop for and already done. I have to click on the already done and see something kind of like this, where okay, this and this was customer A that you've already shopped, and these items were B. But now with this pop up, then you don't have to, I don't have to do that anymore. It's already like it's on this screen. I think the last thing I scanned was that item on the right. It was some kind of like nail glue, I think it was. So I scanned that and it said, okay, that goes with these two other items. So, like I said, I like that. I think it's a cool feature. And couple other things to mention here. When I see different stuff like this, I don't know if all dashers are seeing these things at the same time I do, or if some of these different little features that they throw in there are any of these things I see first because I was on the council. I don't know. I wish I did knew. I'd be interested to know. And one other thing I'd like to suggest, because I know DoorDash watches my videos, but if they are watching this one, one thing I would suggest is just when, for the first time a Dasher sees something like this right here, just kind of like some kind of little um, additional pop up or whatever. Do you this cough, man? It's killing me. It's so irritating. Um, okay, so on something like this right here, for the very first time that I see it, another little pop up that says something like, "Do you like this feature?" And like a choice to click on a little thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'd like to see something like that. That way, like any time I see some new wrinkle for the first time, they give me that thumbs up or thumbs down option, and I vote on every new little thing that they add in. And I'm sure other dashers would appreciate that as well and submit their votes as well. So, but anyways, just my 2 cents, my thoughts on that. So I delivered the first order. There you see it's 753, 950, and again an order with a tip that was in between $1 and $2, which is kind of weird. For $11, this delivered to the front desk of a hotel, and little side story, but I it was when I was on my way to the I was on the interstate on the way to the hotel. I got a call from the W2 and it said that they were okay on staffing. They didn't need me to come in today. And I was like, well, I wouldn't have been able to come in even if I could because of this leave of absence that was forced on me, and but this particular manager didn't know anything about that or whatever. But anyway, the why I mention that is the latest on that is I did get like cleared to return to work, and but I just don't have a date yet. So I'm I'm hoping that it's not for a few more days until maybe like at least Thursday or Friday when I go back because from what I understand, tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's about to get real here in my area as far as the weather. I've heard like -20 wind chills, and so so I'm anxious to see these next couple days. There's a chance it could get like really busy, and I could get like slammed with orders, and curious to see what the next couple days are like. Um, and then let's see. So this was a decline. So that's it. This must be like I got this offer on the way to the second drop off, I guess. So 1351, 11 miles. But I just didn't want to go to that South Columbus area. It's not a horrible offer, but It's not great either, so I declined that. And then the drop off for the second delivery at 8:07, there you see $5 and 11.27 tip for the 16.27. So start to finish, those two orders combined, that was from 7:13 a.m. to 8:07. So it just took me 54 minutes to make over $27. So I tell you what, here lately I've been doing really. I know I don't track it anymore, and I've talked about that, but I have been doing really good as far as my hourly rate here as of late. And then I went ahead and took this. And, 750, 6 miles, only two items. Why not? How bad could it be? Two items. Uh, and they try to stack on. Now, this add on I declined, only adding $6, but it's an additional 5.5 miles going, further in like that west side. And the other thing I saw was that I was going to have to scan an ID. So, because of those three things, I was no, I'm gonna pass on this on this particular add-on. Here's my two items. I originally looked at this, and as I was walking into the store, I thought they'd both be in the infant department, but no, it was just the Pedialyte and the Motrin. I had to do my Jane Fonda walk clear to the opposite corner of the store, clear over by the pharmacy is where that Motrin was, and then I got that, and then I had to hightail it back to the other end of the store where I was parked. So I got my speed walking in on this one, but had this shopped in just within 7 minutes after receiving the offer, and had this delivered at 8:28. And this delivery, the floodgates opened up on memories to come rushing in. This delivered to an apartment complex that I've lived in twice before, or well, I should say I lived in a couple different addresses at this apartment complex. And just like I said, a whole lot of memories come back. Lived there during kind of a couple like rough periods of my life. So, and in case you're wondering, I have. It's been, gosh, I don't even remember when this was. Over a year ago, I have delivered to an address that like the same address of a place that I've lived in before. So that my one of my childhood apartments that I lived in from it would have been I guess seventh grade, seventh, eighth, and ninth grade for apartment I lived in for 3 years. I delivered to that actual address. Um, and this particular customer was like, oh, just like one building over from the apartments that I used to live in, the units. 5.50 and a $2 tip, and that was 20 minutes. 20 minutes flat for 7.50. Decline this. $9, 9 miles Sonic. Um, Going to West Zone. I've talked about Sonic before. It's just it's usually not too busy, but you have to go through the drive-through, and all it takes is for you to pull up there and there's two cars. If there's just two cars in front of you, then it could possibly be a 10-minute drop. And I just, it had to be just higher paying for me to mess around with Sonic. Not messing with little $4 orders. So this was a decline. $4, 3.5 mile McDonald's. This I let's see. This was a decline, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, this was a decline. $7 4 mile Tim Hortons going to that the West Zone. Just didn't want to leave the zone for $7. And then this is the order that I thought was next. And this was a decline. Again, not messing with a $4 and some order, so I declined this. And then it was almost right away. It was a minute later. They stack the 450 order with another order. Um, and so now you got two Tim Hortons for less than 6 miles. So I went ahead and took the stack. So, and it ended up not being too bad. So I took that at 8:39, dropped that off at 9:02. So what is that? 23 minutes. I made $10. So yeah, time wise and everything, it you know I did good. So there, the only thing is, you're missing out on $2 from DoorDash. You're only getting $2 instead of four, but you still made out good on this. $2 from DoorDash, a $2.50 tip, and a $5.50 tip from the nice customer. So it's been, I can't remember the last time, but I got an order today going to the nice customer. And it was really weird this morning because I'm so used to delivering to her early. It's usually within my first order or two, when it's still dark outside in the mornings on weekdays. So this is the first time I've ever delivered to her on a weekend, and there you see it was 9 o'clock in the morning and light outside, and so that was kind of weird, but still cool. Not doing this, not going to almost downtown for just $13. 5 item Dollar General decline. And then I took this 650, 2.5 miles. Sure. Pretty, standard pickup and delivery. Just took me 14 minutes start to finish for 650. Easy 1, 2, 3. 5 minutes later, let's go ahead and do another one. $7, 4 miles. I'm actually like, I maybe just like I can't remember. I don't think I was at the McDonald's, but maybe like across the street from it. Um, my pin's not showing here, but so this is 4 miles away from that area, 4 miles back. So it's kind of $7, 8 miles if you want to look at it that way. But I was still okay with it, and had that done. And what is this? Again, 14 minutes. I think this was the one that delivered to kind of a grumpy dude. I pulled up. It was supposed to be a leave at the door, but he met me outside, and I wasn't supposed. This wasn't a street that you would park on, but I did, and handed him the order, and uh, you know. I asked, I said like, good morning, how are you doing? Or whatever I said. And he was like, just really grumpy. He's like, oh, I'm just tired. And I was like, I feel you, man. I'm tired, 24/7, 365. And then he mumbled something. I couldn't understand him. He mumbled something and then grabbed the sack and took off from me. uh, to me, it didn't look like he was tired. It looked like something had pissed him off. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, what's with the West Side today? Usually it's like every other order it's like Obets or Groveport I see, and then today it was like West Side, West Side, West Side. I for whatever reason, um, and I took this one. So this one 943. Yeah, I took this one. And then again, I'm getting to Meyer and I get a stack. Again, I went ahead and took this, so additional $8 for adding 4 miles, only 5 more items. 9 total items to shop for. I'm gonna get paid $21. So yeah, let's do it. And so I get inside at 9:50. This was this was about as easy as a stack shopping order as you can get. I mean, customer A, potatoes, butter, and a couple things of lunch meat. I mean, and then B had the sweet and low, 3 Dawn dish soaps. And the last thing I shopped for was that mounting tape. And I'll say it again, but the fact that they see when I first started dashing, they didn't have aisle and shelf locations and all this type of thing. Especially like they came out with aisle numbers pretty early on, but the actual section numbers and shelf location that came much later. And I tell you what, I feel like I was already a really fast shopper to begin with, but when they added those section numbers and the actual shelf locations, I mean, it's just an absolute game changer, especially for these Meyer orders. I finished up on the grocery side and I start motoring down the back of the store to whatever aisle this mounting tape was. It C29 or whatever the aisle number. So I'm flooring it down there. I turn into that aisle. Then I just had to look for section such and such. Walk down the aisle. Okay, section 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, here's section 7. Boom, look in that section. Find the tape, grab it, go. Boom. Game changer. Before I would have been had to start at the beginning of the aisle and kind of scan and no, I don't see it, and then I'd be slowly. Now I just motor it to the right, section number. I'm standing right there, and then a lot less scanning of all the merchandise that you have to do. So and then so delivered the now on the I dropped off the $13 one first, and when I didn't get a pay breakdown screen like this because it like I got kicked offline or something in the app, and then I had to like click on return to dash. I don't know how I got kicked off, but I didn't get a pay screen on the first one. So I delivered the second one at 10:25, $3, and then $5 tip. 42 minutes start to finish from first offer to the last drop off. 42 minutes for 21.25. Outstanding. And then decline. I If this had been a food order, I probably would have taken this. But you see my pin position. I'm sitting at one of the customers. So I have to go to Target, and then one customer is east of the Target, the other one's west where I'm at. So I don't know, maybe I had to go to the one out east first, I guess. I would guess, and then come back to the other one. Um, it, and it's dollar per mile, $16, 16 miles. But I had to shop 11 items and check out and pay. And so if this would have been McDonald's instead of Target, and I could have just walked in and grabbed 2 sacks, and then I might have done this order. But I figured, with the shopping time and the driving out there and then back here, I just didn't like this order. And then this one, it's kind of similar. I'm in between the Meyer and the customer. Again, West Zone. I mean, I don't know. Now on this one, I think this is the one where I was like, well, I I was kind of tempted to take it, and I was like, well, let me see what these items are first, and maybe I might take it. So fortunately, I was at a traffic light. I could do this. And I clicked on this, and I didn't like this list. I didn't like this shopping list at all. I don't like the dumb suckers that they're in any candy like this is sometimes kind of tricky, and you may not find it. So the lollipops, the gum, and also the butterscotch. I'm almost guaranteed to not be able to find one of those three things. I mean, that's almost a given. And then the lactose free whole milk. If you're just going in there to buy Meyer whole milk or the Meyer 2% or 1%, that's what you're going in there for. Hey, no problems. But once you start getting into these soy milks and lactose something milks and almond and this and that and these other variations of milk, that sometimes the selection can kind of be hit and miss. So yeah, this list spelled trouble, and it also spelled DECLINE. I took this one. So here we go. 1350, 8 miles, 4 items. Yeah. But not quite so fast here. I get to Meyer and take a look at the list. Right off the bat, item number one, fresh pet. Okay, so that's when I shudder and cringe as soon as I see that. I've talked about fresh pet before. And then a 40 count case of water. Thank you very much for that. 12 pack of tea cans. The only like easy thing here is the four Uncrustables. um, so I go. I think I get the Uncrustables first. I go back and I get the tea and the. Almost didn't see the water, and fortunately they had it. And then it was off to the fresh pet. Um, I go there and I turn the corner into the aisle, and I see like right away that the coolers didn't look too full. However, there was a associate standing right there stocking it, and he had like a cart. He must have had like 10 or 12 cases of various product that he was in the process of, he was filling it. So I was like, sweet. So even if I don't see this item. I mean, there's a good chance he has it on this cart. But they had this. They is in one of the coolers on the bottom shelf. I saw it almost right away, and boom, I got lucky. It's usually not that easy to get fresh pet. There's my shopping time, 7 minutes. 7 minutes, and I was done. And deliver that at 8:04. So half hour flat, 13.50 is outstanding. 6.50 from DoorDash, $7 tip. You know. And now at this point, as I've done the last couple days, I've kind of gotten into this habit of shutting down around 11 to get something to eat. And I was pretty much right at goal. So that's what I was going to do here. And I was making my way to, I was trying to figure what I wanted for lunch, and I was thinking Athena's Gyro House. Okay, so I was on my way there, and unless I got some order that, came across that I had to take, um, first was this 1275 12.7 mile Meyer, but no, I'm not. And I talked about not seeing Obets and Groport orders earlier. Well, here is one. And no, because I'm on the street where Athena's is, and I no, I was kind of wanting to get something, by like 12 or whatever. So I don't want to, drive out to Obet's and then come back. And I wanted to get something sooner than that. Um, Acceptance rate check here, 43% is what I was at after that decline. And then these last two offers, these I would have taken normally, but the only reason I got these is because I was trying to get parked and stop the car so that I could log off my dash. If I could have got stopped sooner, I wouldn't have even got these. I wouldn't have even seen these last two offers. But 854 miles. I normally would have done that. And this next one I would have done is 550 a mile. And this would only took me 10 minutes probably. And it crossed my mind to just go ahead and take this. And well, I can wait, another 10, 15 minutes to get lunch. And but then I was pulling into the Athena's parking lot, and I was like, "Well, no, let me just decline this and log. It's only $5, so it's not gonna matter one way or the other on how much I make for the day if I with or without this $5." So I just declined it and logged off. Um, and Athena's wasn't even open. So I I didn't know they weren't open on Sundays. Now I know. So I had to go to like a plan B. So I got like the next best thing to Athena's, and that was Taco Bell. uh, Dash summary here. Started at 6:45, and so active 3.5 hours and made $99. Sweet, I'll take it. 11 deliveries completed. Now at 3,525 lifetime DoorDash deliveries. And that is it for today. And again, it's supposed to be, let me pull up my weather app here. So tomorrow, like today's high was 30 for my area. Tomorrow's high is 13 with a low of 3 degrees. And then, so tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the next 3 days, has low temperatures around zero. So again, I'm really curious to see what kind of orders I'm going to get like tomorrow. Am I going to get some, better, really good orders here? We'll see. So we're really anxious to see here. Anyway, again, that's all I have for today. Thanks again so much for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, stay warm, and we'll catch you next time.